Hello, fellow progressives. I know there's been a great amount of disagreement amongst progressives recently, and each disagreement ironically comes with a call to unify. And while we may not always agree on everything, it's specific policies that brought us together in the first place. We unanimously supported an end to big money corrupting our government. We all supported a $15 minimum wage, college for all, single-payer health care, carbon tax, and other immediate clean energy measures. We supported the protection of minorities, criminal justice reform, and other large issues impacting our nation and state. I believe that our state can be a leader on these issues. We are a strong state filled with progressives, and I believe if progressives want control of the policies that our state will implement, then we need to implement our own strategy. And that's why I've created a strategy composed of 5 parts. The 5 parts are the Republican primary, the long shot, the flip district, the endangered Democrat district, and the Democratic primary plan. Each part of the strategy is based on 2 things: the voting record of the incumbent and the voter spread of population by district. The spread is measured by taking the number of registered Democrats and subtracting the number of registered Republicans. Districts heavily populated by Republicans will yield a negative spread, while districts heavily populated by Democrats will yield a positive spread. It's important to remember that in Colorado, none of these districts have less than 30% independents. Before I get started, I'd like to say that I'm not infallible. While I've put a good amount of research into this, I am open to suggestion, and especially open to suggestion in relation to incumbent positions. So to get started, we'll start with the Republican primary plan. This part of the strategy focuses on districts with a spread between -50 and -10. These districts are unlikely to be won by Democrats in 2018, but that doesn't mean that progressives have to lose them. The goal would be to identify Republican candidates in each of these districts who in some way represents the progressive interests. I am defining these progressive Republicans as any Republican who refuses super PAC and corporate money, but also supports one of the legs of the progressive platform. There are 29 available districts within this spread for which I strongly encourage progressives to identify potential Republican candidates. Key districts, as identified by the voting record of the incumbent, are Senate districts 1, 9, 2, 7, and 23, as well as House districts 14, 65, 39, 64, 48, 44, 57, 60, 16, and 63. Some of these districts overlap into the second part of the strategy. The second part of the strategy is our long shot districts. That's any district with a voter spread of between -29 and -10. There are 22 available districts in this spread. Ideally, for each of these districts, we will select a progressive Republican. We will also need to find progressive Democrats to run in these seats. Progressive Democrats are defined by their refusal to accept money from super PACs or corporations, as well as support for at least 4 legs of the progressive platform. The key seats that I've identified are Senate Districts 2, 7, and 23, as well as House Districts 64, 48, 44, 57, 60, 16, and 63. I believe that progressive Democrat candidates can absolutely win these districts with enough independent support. If we can find progressive Democratic candidates, I believe this is the area where we should put our extra support and funds. The third part of our strategy is the flip districts. These are Republican-held districts with between -9 and +10 spread. These districts hold the highest potential for progressive wins. There are 9 available districts in this category, and we must seek progressive candidates for each of these districts. Key districts though, are Senate District 13 and Senate District 16. I believe these are areas where we need to maximize our volunteer efforts. The fourth part of the strategy is within the same spread of -9 to +10. These are the Democrat-held seats which are in danger. While I believe corruption should not be tolerated by anyone, it's important to note that we are much more likely to reach our goals with Democrats than Republicans. Democrats are easier to lobby for progressive positions than Republicans. That's why I believe that progressives should protect the Democrats within this category. Specifically, we should protect progressive incumbents like those in House District 33, 50, 52, 17, 28, 40, and 35. I'd like it noted that this plan would support any progressive who seeks to primary against establishment incumbents, but would not support third-party progressives within this category. The fifth part of the strategy is the Democrat District Plan. Basically, within this positive spread of +11 to 50, the Democrats are unlikely to lose their seats. In this area, we should identify regressive Democrats and get them out, either through primary or independent candidates. In Colorado, a person that seeks office through party but loses the primary cannot run as an independent. So if an incumbent is identified as a regressive or corrupt, we'll want to put forward a two-pronged approach. Otherwise, progressives should just support the most progressive person in each district within this category. I believe if we use this strategy, we can claim enough seats to effect real change throughout the state.